This episode of Guillotines and Guitars is brought to you by J. Michael's Bar and Grill.
Welcome back to another episode of Guillotines and Guitars in Hartsville Studios in South Carolina.
That's exactly where we are.
Yep. We would like to welcome y'all back to another great episode. We're talking about Benson Boone. I don't know who this guy is.
That's awesome. You did good, though. You nailed it. I thought you were going to say somebody else again.
Yeah, I didn't say Brawny or anything like that. I said Benson
Bruce
Boone.
Banner.
Yeah, I didn't say anything like that.
What, Benson Boone is like one of the...
Hold on, hold on. You need to calm down.
He's going straight into it.
Let me get my if and ands.
I was trying to educate you a little bit and let you know who Benson Boone was.
For the new people out there, this is Guillotines and Guitars. You need to check us out on iHeartRadio, Pandora, all the audio platforms. And, of course, we're on YouTube. You know, go on YouTube, hit that bell, subscribe button. Yep. And on Facebook, we're on Facebook Live all the time, too. So, thank you for coming on the show tonight.
Can I add to that real quick? I want to make sure that people also know that they can go to guillotinesandguitars.com to find all of the links you just announced. How about that? That's Guillotines and Guitars. You don't do that. So I decided to throw that in for you.
That's right. I don't do that enough.
Guillotinesandguitars.com.
All right. And we still hey, we got Carol back. He is a permanent resident of the U.S. now.
He's been back.
Permanent.
He is a permanent resident. He got kicked out of Canada because of tariffs.
He's always been
Tariffs got too high, and they was like, "You got to get out."
I did not get kicked out. Good people in Canada.
All right.
I like that. That sounds like a commercial. There's good people in Canada.
Yeah.
And there are, and we love them all, especially Brian Boitano and...
We love Nickelback.
And Carol is not one of them.
Nickelback.
Well, I mean, you might.
I love Nickelback.
Steve Eiserman.
I don't even know who that is.
That's Steve Eiserman.
Is John Candy from...
John Candy. Steve Eiserman.
He's from Iowa.
Let's just say, if we were to move on with the show, what would be the next thing we would do? Probably take a shot before we get started.
Well, that's what I was trying to say.
No, you weren't. You were talking about John Candy.
Hold on. Before every subject, we would like to christen the subject with a shot. And the subject tonight is guitar segment of Benson Boone.
I was trying to christen the bar and shatter it, but it didn't work.
Throw me a shot there. What we got there, my good boy?
Buttery nipples, Carol.
We love twisted shots, by the way. We are heavy on the twisted shots. And we have tonight.
And I would get the one like you did in the last show that doesn't have a
Bring
tab.
it over here and let Chris bite it.
I had to bite mine.
Yeah. Shit, I had to stick my fingers in it.
I had a Nosferatu mine last episode.
Did you really? I got that.
Yeah.
All right.
I had to stick my fang in the carpet.
Chris.
Yeah.
I'm not editing this at all.
Well, that's fine. It'll be all right.
This is going on. This is just like our Truth or Dare episode we just did.
Here's the guitars, boys.
That son of a gun had some booze in it, buddy.
Yes, it did, John Bird.
Must have had that crystal methacaine in it or something.
Boy, John Bird keeps coming back on.
Must have had that crystal methacaine in it or something.
Hey, that's perfect. That is perfect.
I love it.
I feel like he's here with us right now.
It sounds good, too.
So who in the hell is this Benson Boone? I heard the song before we went on this episode tonight.
He's got a lot of good songs.
And I heard that I need you, oh God. Hey, me, take me to the fair, oh God. That's what I heard.
Take me to the Pharaoh
well,
God.
listen next time.
But I've heard that. I've actually heard that song. But I haven't heard anything else that he makes. So
you know where you heard that from, though?
Where?
The part.
Hold on. Do it again.
No. Do you know
what the hell was that?
Do you know where you heard that from, though?
Yeah, the radio. Oh, iHeartRadio.
Yeah, but what it mimics, older song.
I don't know what song it was.
It's a Nirvana song.
What?
It mimics.
Hold on.
Wait, hold on. Yeah, what?
It mimics or it is a Nirvana song?
No, it mimics a Nirvana song.
Well, please explain.
What? Nirvana song, the wait, hey, no. It's almost the same thing.
Where did you get this information?
I got it from listening to both of the songs.
So you got this on your own account?
He did. He studies up.
So there's no hardcore evidence of this. So I mean, I'm not trying to, because I get it. I really do. I really get it. So you listen to this song, you was like, oh, that's a ripped off a Nirvana song.
No. I didn't say it was ripped off of a Nirvana song. I said it mimics a Nirvana song.
It's similar.
See, I'm gonna be the one to disagree with you and just say that that's one little part mimics that. And music to me is a mathematical equation, and at some point there's only so many chords and so many progressions you can do. At some point, something's going to be similar. And that's the only reason I'm going to disagree with you, is just because, like, yeah, I can see where you're coming from, but I don't think he's mimicking. I think I've always said, I don't mean to jump in on your territory here, but I've always said that from what I've heard from him, he mimics Harry Styles more than anybody else from One Direction.
Well, he might, but I'm saying that one part in that song,
it reminds you of that. But did he steal it, or did he like base it off of that?
Well, I don't know.
I don't know what his backgrounds are.
But if you listen to the music, it's like it has the same stop. It's like it's like it has the same stop.
Calm down. We're going to get copyrighted with you being so.
But I do kind of get what he's going.
No, I get. Yeah, I get it too. I know it.
But I don't think he would have.
Yeah.
How did this guy get so popular?
Different.
I've never
He's got
heard
good songs.
like until tonight.
Well, let's go back then. He was on American Idol.
I didn't even know that. I didn't
see, but that's where he started. He was doing really well. He was really good on American Idol, but then he quit American Idol.
Walked off.
Yeah, he
left. He said, "No, I don't want to do this," because he said.
So he was still in the mix.
Yeah,
like of being like possibly.
Well, no, he was good, and they said he was good. They were all about him, and he had a good thing. He had didn't he? Did he play piano on? Did he play piano on his audition?
I think so.
I think he did. But in any case,
I also think that who was Katy Perry or somebody said you could
win.
You can win this. American Idol.
Didn't he quit time he made the top?
She was
I don't think he went that far. Did he?
You can be the
Maybe
one.
Not.
That's impressive.
I've got one of the notes that I have. So he said he quit American Idol season 19 run because he wanted to pursue his own path as an artist without being solely defined like a lot of American Idol winners and runner-ups or shine outs or standouts are. He didn't want to be defined by the show, so he explained that he didn't want to be labeled as the American Idol kid. And you see that with, and not just your Carrie Underwoods that win it, but the people that make us say like Chris Daughtry.
Yeah.
You know, he didn't win it, but he became super famous because of the show, even though he didn't win it. But everybody that watched the show remembers him as a contestant on American Idol and would still consider him an American Idol guy. So I get where Benson didn't want to do that. He wanted to be known for his own music and his own songwriting. So,
and that's a big risk to take for him.
Absolutely,
to just walk away.
But did he do it because he already knew that he had made that mainstream and people knew who he was, and now he was like, okay, now I've got my foot in the door. So I think somebody got in his ear and said, now you've got your foot in the door. People know who you are. Get the hell out and go do your own thing. Like, that's kind of how I'm seeing it. But
we got a contract waiting for you.
To me,
yeah, really. It'd be easy to do that.
Yep.
Because he had a good look at the time. He didn't have the fireman mustache.
The caterpillar.
Well, and to me, I think that's what happened. It was like, you know, he when he went on American Idol, it was like, you know, you have millions of people watching you, you know.
Mostly young people.
Yeah. But he was like, okay, now I got millions of people watching me. He's like, I don't want to be labeled as the American Idol kid. Yeah. You know, I want to do my own thing, which I think is smart because if most people who win American Idol, do you know what their contract is like?
I don't.
Probably better than the job I got.
Yeah.
Well, no.
Scott's like a big ass cliffhanger.
No, but I think
he doesn't know the answer. But do you know what they make?
And I'm sitting there like, please tell me.
I don't either, but I'm just saying they're probably a lot.
No, but I think most people who win American Idol, their contracts are crap.
Yeah. Well,
they lose a lot of money to the company who owns American Idol.
You think that's why he dropped out?
Yeah, I think that is why he dropped out.
Do you?
I think someone was in his ear.
I think somebody was in his ear. That's that's my.
But that's pretty ballsy to be in the middle of American Idol and be like, hey, I don't want to do this.
No, I think that's why I think somebody up there had to say, because this kid was like 19 or 20 years old. He was born in what, 2002. This was 21.
Yeah,
American Idol 2021 when he was on there. Obviously we're just speculating here, but I feel like somebody with really good connections said that's not where you need to be.
Yeah.
No,
big risk.
Hey, I watched an interview with him talking about being on American Idol, and he said, when I was on there, I saw the direction they were trying to push me. He was like, that's not where I wanted to be.
But he knew. Come on, no, hold on. I'm going to argue that because everybody that goes to American Idol knows what it's about, especially now with the internet and everything. And everybody that's ever been on American Idol or tried out for American Idol has posted their whole experience all about it. So he knew what he was in for. That's why I think.
No, that's true.
And I'm not even putting him down. I'm not even saying this as a negative. I'm just saying that somebody had to have been in his ear and said, you don't need to do this. You've got better things. If you go ahead and leave the show now and get out, we can make you famous. We'll make you famous, kid. I'm telling you.
And that might be what happened.
That's what I feel like.
What I heard him say is when I was on American Idol.
When you was on American Idol?
No, when Benson Boone.
He was on the fan page.
Not me.
But American Idol stuff's kind of ridiculous anyway, because now we're going to do country night for all the rock and rollers that want to come up and be a singer. Now we're going to do rock night for all the country people that now what do I do?
That's what Benson said. He was like, he decided to leave with a certain
genre.
Yeah,
won't go into his direction.
Or now we're going to do show tunes.
Yeah,
well, he could have done show tunes.
He went on the show and got seen by millions of people, right? And then he decided, he was like, okay, I'm out. I'm getting out, I'm gonna do my own thing. I'm not.
You think that was by himself or somebody in his ear?
He went back to doing TikTok.
That's what my problem is, because there was the TikTok thing, but he was like 19, 20 years old.
Yeah,
I think somebody was in his ear.
It's a 19 or 20-year-old.
It might
what do you think, Scott?
I think it was him.
I think it was his own.
I think he said, I don't want to be represented by these people, simply because that's what he said in an interview.
Do you like Kool-Aid?
Oh, shit.
Have you been drinking the Kool-Aid?
That's a legit question. It really is.
How is that?
I agree with Trey.
But I like this because Scott's giving he's giving his perspective.
And that's what he thinks.
And defending him. And what I'm saying, my opinion, is not a negative towards Benson Boone. It's kind of weird for me to say that a 19 or 20-year-old would come up would just be that bold and have this opportunity that he could possibly just throw away and not make it big and not let anybody ever hear his songs or whatever, because everybody knows that when you do American Idol and you go through it and you become the winner or a standout like Chris Daughtry or somebody, and you become somebody, and then you can push your own stuff out. But what if you don't?
Yeah,
and you got these hundreds of kids every year or thousands of kids every year, and then they have their opportunity. How many kids sitting in I'm getting them like pissed off about it, thinking about it, because how many of these kids, they know they have the opportunity to be on American Idol. They went to American Idol. They didn't go to say, I'm going to go quit this show that I'm trying to win or trying to just audition for and be on, and I'm just going to quit it and go run about my merry way. A 19 or 20-year-old, I don't believe is going to do that. So that's why I'm making that counter argument to say I don't think he did it on his own. If he did, that's fucking great. Like, that's awesome.
Well,
if he did that, but it's just hard to believe that. So I hope he did. I
It's a big risk.
I hope he did. I hope he did stand up and then had the balls to say, I'm not, you know what? I wanted to do this show to be on American Idol and be the American Idol, but I decided, wait, nope, I'm going to leave it and go do something else. If my argument is that why didn't he do that before he even got on the show?
Well,
he used the show as a stepping stone to put his name out there.
That's exactly
then he
right.
Said,
that's exactly.
I'm gonna show everybody that I'm something. I'm worth something watching. Now I've got your attention. You know my name. Now I'm gonna go do my own thing. And a lot of people could actually take that advice and go moving forward. Everybody go join American Idol, and when they put you in and you get to a certain point where America knows who you are, leave that damn show and don't follow that bullshit. We're gonna be pop stars, now we're gonna do country night, now we're gonna do rock night, now we're gonna do show tunes. Leave that show, make a name for yourself, and get out of there like he did. That's
I like that.
That's my thinking on what he did.
I actually like that.
That's
if I'm wrong, fine.
I hope he did that because that shit just fired my ass up.
Yeah, I'm joining American Idol next year, 2026. Trey Davis,
and I hope people quit in the middle of it and find their own pathways. Cheers.
That's exactly what Benson Boone did, though.
It is what he did.
That's the path he followed.
That's what he did. But my point is, was it planned, or did somebody get in his
ear? Did he have a
right.
safety net?
That's
did
what
he know
my question was.
Yep. Did he have a
safety net?
Did he?
Somebody
know
said,
no.
I got you.
What, I watched
Somebody
a video
said-
with him talking
said,
about.
Now's the time.
No, somebody said. Somebody said, "Oh, with number one draw."
I got it.
No,
You gonna join our band? The Furry Nuggets.
No, I watched a video with Benson Boone where he was talking about how he's a risk taker.
He is. I agree with that.
I love that, and that's what I'm saying. That's what I want him to be. I want him to be famous because he took a risk, but I want it to be because he did it on his own and not because somebody told him it was time.
I hope that's the truth.
Yeah,
I hope that's truth.
that's what I'm saying. Like I'm defending him.
That's what he said
with that argument.
It's the reason he did that.
Yeah. Okay.
Well,
Whew,
I hope
he's a good
I hope
entertainer.
that's the truth.
He has great
Really
songs.
do.
He's a good entertainer.
If he did that, kudos to him, and I'll vow to listen to more of his songs because I didn't know who this guy was until these guys showed. Please, you know that song.
Sing it. Go ahead.
Please.
Okay, so
But now you have to.
Okay,
Well, hold on. We need to pull the piano out so you can do a front flip off of it.
Yeah,
he's got.
that ain't gonna happen.
so now
Hey,
we know
that's impressive.
Chris
I'll
is
ride
going to
the
do a
one
cannonball.
wheel.
He's going to do a cannonball.
That's all he can do.
Okay, so now we know who Benson Boone is. What about his performance at Coachella? Especially bringing Brian May.
I didn't see that.
I actually thought it was really good. I'll be honest with you.
Coachella, by the way?
It's a big festival, so I didn't want to. Because it's a style of music that I just don't listen to. I'm older and I'm from the South and I like Southern rock, classic rock, and some country and stuff. So it's obviously not the style of music that I'm into, but I knew who he was because
they
I'm a
play
big
Queen.
Scott, I understand my point. If you let me get to that point, I'll tell you I got a great story for you. It's really not that great, but I'm gonna get to that point you just made. So I don't know. I didn't know who he was. I didn't know much about him at all, and I don't watch American Idol for the reasons I just explained. But as a TikToker and a TikTok follower, like I'm on TikTok scrolling, I started hearing this song, what Chris was just trying to do, and I started hearing it over and over. I'm like, what is this? And so like it honestly got obnoxious. It's like anything when they overplay something, it gets obnoxious. It's really cool at the first time you hear it, and you might even go, I like that song. I like the song. And then like most things, after a while, they throw it down your throat and you can't stand it anymore. So it was that part, and so every time it would come up, I didn't want to pay any attention to it. So I didn't even know who was singing it, who was playing the music. I didn't know if it was even a real artist. I thought maybe it could be a studio concoction. Concoction. Wow, that word was hard for some reason. That word was tough. That word was tough. I hate Fireball.
Spell Mississippi.
Anyway. So I didn't know if this song was for real or if it was just like a jingle that somebody made for a commercial or something, because that's all I heard of it was that part. So now, all of a sudden, and it wasn't just Coachella. It was something he just did. It was a Grammy Awards or some awards show he just did with like Sabrina Carpenter was out in the audience. So it must have been the Grammys. And he did the front flip that he's famous for off of the piano.
Yep.
And he did it in time so that when he landed, he could continue the song. And I was like, dude, that's impressive. And I was like, okay, all right, I got you. And so now all of a sudden, now I'm curious. So now I'm Googling and YouTube, and who is this guy? And I see him doing these flips at every show, and it's phenomenal. But then I'm watching him. So my daughter was whatever. I can't keep up now these days with a teenager, but she's a big Harry Styles fan. And all of a sudden I start going, this guy looks like dresses like Harry Styles, kind of sings like Harry Styles. Is he copying Harry Styles, or is he that just the way he does it? I don't know. But as a dad of a teenager that likes Harry Styles, I'm seeing a lot of Harry Styles in him. So, but then he comes out at Coachella and he brings Brian May out from Queen to do, they play Bohemian Rhapsody, and right before the solo, up comes from the stage Brian May with his guitar getting ready to do the solo. The problem with that is that you've got this audience of 20-something-year-olds have no idea who Brian May is, but they know every word to Bohemian Rhapsody. They're singing every word. But this long-haired, gray-haired guy comes up and starts playing, and they're like, oh, cool. Who is that? You know every word.
Nobody, but they knew the words of the song,
Yes.
but they didn't know the artist.
That's the thing. And that's a good thing, because Benson is bringing.
That's like Trey Davis coming to a furball show.
Furball. So, but it's a good thing because Benson is connecting the younger audience to an older band, an older musician, whatever. So it's good that he's making those connections, but at the same time, it's almost embarrassing and funny to look back and go, like, there was a quote from somebody who was at the show.
Oh shit!
Where the person in front of them said, "Who is that?" While Brian May came out and started playing. So, like I said, that's sad. But it's a good thing because he did make that connection. So now the younger people know who Brian May is, and maybe they'll go back because they really like that song and they know all the words to that song because they were all singing Bohemian Rhapsody. So they know the song, but now maybe because they made that connection, maybe they'll go back and say, well, let's listen to more Queen songs. So maybe that'll help them go back and listen to some Queen songs.
Yeah.
Go ahead. I had more, but I'm talking too much, and I'm talking way more in this show than I thought I was, but go ahead.
Okay, but if you think about it,
oh shit, here we go.
No. When Brian May came up, you would
playing a guitar him and his dad made, by the way.
Yeah,
50 years ago.
You would expect the audience to rise up and be like, "It's Brian May from Queen."
They didn't know who he was, Scott.
Well, they didn't. But if you think about it, when was the last Queen album that was released?
They're following Benson Boone, who was on American Idol. You got what's his name? Adam.
I get that.
Adam that went on tour with Queen and brought Queen back to the young people.
I get that. When was the last Queen album that came out with Freddie Mercury singing?
Well, yeah, but that was
it was 1991.
91.
Innuendo.
That was close to Farm Aid.
Innuendo. Innuendo. Come out.
But Queen songs are out there so much.
1991. So when was that?
This is a heated argument.
Yeah,
what side you on, Carol?
Pisses me off.
30-something years ago.
Adam Lambert.
Do you know the average audience of Coachella?
25.
Almost 28.
28.
That's the point. I just made that point, though, because these people don't know who Queen is.
But I looked this up.
The song.
28 is the average audience of Coachella. So that means Queen, their last album that they wrote.
Round 3.
This is exciting.
It came out in 1991. That means it was 20 years before the average Coachella attendee
that's what I said.
was born.
I said that. I said that. My point is, but then it wasn't 20 goddamn years ago whenever Adam Lambert was singing for Queen and going on tour with Queen, and all the kids that age and that year was like, oh my God, I love this band, love these songs. What I would love to hear at Coachella is if Benson Boone would have come out and instead of doing a famous song like Bohemian Rhapsody, would have done something a little less famous, at least for people not Queen fans or that didn't get put on Wayne's World or something. If they would have played something like Who Wants to Live Forever or just a song that all Queen songs were big, but just a song that wasn't as big as Bohemian Rhapsody. If they'd come out and played something else, then it wouldn't have been that great. He purposely picked a song that he knew everybody would know. The 25, 26-year-olds.
Exactly what
which is you want to do that anyway in a show.
Yeah.
So you want to do that. That's a good thing. I'm glad he did it, and he made a connection from the younger people to attach them to Queen and make them maybe go home and go, let me go see who Queen is. So I don't have a problem with him picking that song. I'm just saying, for all the people that were freaking out going, who is that guy? If he hadn't picked the biggest song, they wouldn't have done that.
Scott,
I know
you getting your ass whooped.
No, you still get the younger generations, and now is they recognize Brian May. They're like, okay, so
yeah. You know what I like?
When he first come out,
and he came out in his Adidas Superstar shell top shoes, just like this.
And what did the crowd do?
There we go.
It was basically bland.
Because they didn't know who this guy was.
I know. That's what
Brian
I'm saying.
May is an astrophysicist. He's like he could literally.
That's what I'm saying. Is that the younger crowd did not know who he was. No. Until
they thought Benson Boone was Harry Styles when he first came out, but they were disappointed that it wasn't. I'm gonna stop with the Harry Styles thing.
This I have loved this conversation. It is back and forth. It's heated. Sweat's coming off y'all.
I'm sweating a lot. Dude. I was just thinking about Brian May being an astrophysicist. He could literally go to space and be an astronaut. But he can't do that now because he can't be the first musician to go to space and be an astronaut because Katy Perry. Katy Perry is an astronaut now. All right,
God, that is correct. That is another point.
Yeah. Come back and kiss the ground too.
So nobody can't. You can't tell Katy Perry shit right now. She's like fireworks.
She just
went to space.
I learned what love is.
Yeah.
And you're 11 minutes.
Yeah, I learned what love is. I was in a dick-shaped rocket going up to the damn space.
I didn't go all the way to space, but I did ride Thunder Road at the beach, and you get to the top, and right before you go down, you're weightless for a second. So I know exactly how Katy Perry feels.
And then she came back down to earth, and she was emotional.
And she kissed the ground. But you got Suni and the other guy that were stuck. They were stuck. They went up in the
Mr. Patel.
What? The two that went up on the Boeing spaceship to go to the space station, they got stranded there for 9 months. They were actual astronauts that trained for different scenarios, and when they came back down, did you see them kiss the ground? No.
Yes, I did.
No, you didn't.
No.
All right.
Wrap it up.
Fucking Byron Benson took over the show tonight.
Byron Benson.
And I had no idea who the hell he was.
That's a NASCAR
Benson
driver.
Boone.
It almost sounds like it, though.
Byron Benson sounds like a NASCAR driver.
But I tell you what, there was some interesting facts in this show that I had no clue about the American Idol thing.
And I feel like me and Scott going to have to go outside and wrestle in a minute.
Oh, yeah, we are. Y'all are heated right now. But I
got my Speedo in the car.
Jesus,
I'm gonna put it on.
Yeah, I'm not wrestling Scott in a Speedo. Yeah, I've seen Scott in a Speedo. I got pictures. Matter of fact, let me go ahead and put them up right now.
Yeah, you see him, Mr. Patel? Did you see him? All right. Thank you guys, everybody, for coming down and listening to us on the audio platform.
Don't worry, nobody's seeing this show. Continue on just in case.
Thank y'all so much. This is Guillotines and Guitars.
Right here, buddy.
We are out.